Hi, this is Fabian Trahan, and welcome to Ectophobia Radio, the ParaSanctum podcast.
Episode 19. The Nickerson Snead House Museum Post-Investigation Review. TRiTn Paranormal.
Tonight we're doing a live broadcast and a discussion of the Nickerson Snead House in beautiful Glade Spring, Virginia. Hello, this is the ParaSanctum podcast. You are listening to your host, Fabian Trahan. Coming to you live from Greenville, Tennessee. I'm talking with our team members, BJ and Kimberly. We investigated the Nickerson Snead House in beautiful Glade Spring, Virginia, back on April 22nd into April 23rd, 2022. And we got all kinds of evidence at that property. And basically what I wanted to do tonight, because there's so much evidence that I'm trying to process. And I'm telling you guys, this is a big one. It has... I've never had so much evidence to go through. I may be hollering at you, Kimberly, maybe even BJ too. Maybe you can help me out with some of it. I may send you part of it and let you go through it, and you can even narrate what you thought or whatever. I think that might be a good idea. What do y'all think of that?
Sounds good.
Yeah,
I'd be glad to.
Yeah. Cool beans. Yeah, and what I wanted to talk about tonight, other than hanging out with two wonderful people that, I'm just blessed, absolutely so lucky to have you guys as part of the team. And we got Ryan, and we got Mike, we got Marcus, we got Danielle. And Kimberly got Danielle to join us, and now Danielle is an official team member. We got Courtney and Humberto out in Arizona, and I'm just stoked. We got a nice little team. We got Lisa up in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, too. So we got a nice little group of... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm stoked to meet Courtney and Humberto when they come in. I would be even more stoked to take a trip to Arizona, because I just think that it is just... Arizona is on another level all in itself.
We are definitely doing the freaking doing stuff.
Yeah, BJ, can you get closer to the phone? I couldn't hear what you said.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Said if we go to Arizona, I would definitely like to do Tombstone.
Yeah, and I was telling Courtney and Humberto about Tombstone. There's a lot of other places out there that are pretty active. There's a place called the Jerome Hotel, and it's somewhere there in Arizona, and it's supposed to be... It's the one where you might have seen on Ghost Adventures where the guy... he gets his head cut off by the elevator or something like that. And Chris Alter, right. Shout out to Chris Alter. He's no longer the person that runs it, but he's still on my friends list, and he was on that episode of Ghost Adventures. And shout out to Chris Alter, A-L-T-H-E-R-R, Alter, I guess it's Alter. Sorry if I got your name wrong. But yeah, absolutely. Jerome Hotel, Tombstone, Tucson has even got some crazy stuff going on too. I wonder if I could talk Courtney and Humberto to call in, but no, probably not. It's like 3 hours earlier there, and they're probably doing something with the kids on a Sunday. I guess what I want to start off with is an introduction for everyone about the location that we went to and the people that run the location. And I'm going to do a future podcast and interview with this wonderful person. Her name is Rhonda Caudill, and she actually wrote a book on her museum, the Nickerson Snead House Museum there in Glade Spring. And it's kind of like a roadmap for an investigator. I got it because of interest, but I noticed that by reading it, that it was kind of like a guide to the house, per se. And it kind of gave you an insight as to how the layout of the house was and what potential hauntings there are in the house. Kimberly actually read, we've got video of Kimberly reading the book, and you've done a really great job on that. When you were reading the book, Kimberly, can I ask you, what part of the book that you got to did you think was the most interesting?
Well, I liked the interesting part about hearing the book about like the little boy where he actually died, because the house has underwent like through so many different changes throughout the years, and just to kind of piece back together where was the actual back door, which steps were the actual steps that he was on, stuff like that was really cool of the book. And the book also helped like describe, which rooms were what and where they are active and things like that. So this is really good. I thought it was pretty neat to kind of, like you said, give a kind of like a little guide of, this is where things have been throughout history. So this is where you might see something or hear something or find evidence of something. And it turned out pretty accurate with what I feel like what we discovered.
That's actually true. It went like for par, spot on. A lot of what Rhonda, and a shout out to Rhonda Caudill and her sister Dee Dee, a very sweet person. I got to meet her. She's the one who led us into the residence. Shout out to Dee Dee and Rhonda. Her book actually alluded to a lot of great locations inside of the house that, it kind of made your ears perk up where you might want to go in and check it out. I know that when I walked in there, when you and BJ, Kimberly, were sitting out there in the front of the house waiting on me to, make sure everything was okay or whatever. As I was walking in past the main staircase, the one when you walk into the main part of it, past the Raven window and all that, and you go into the door, there's that giant staircase, stairwell, whatever. And I walked by there, and I went past that room that we were all in, that big, like that old part of the cabin, and walked into that area where you had told me that you were really fascinated by the app that I had, and we were all sitting on that bench next to that heater thing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, when I walked through there, as I was walking through there, I saw a bluish-gray figure. And I told Dee Dee, Rhonda's sister, that I saw something, and it stopped. And I stopped when it stopped, because I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and it was casing me. And I noticed that, so immediately, right in front of Dee Dee, I said, we're here. We're here as kind and friendly people. We will treat you with kindness, or something to that effect. I was just letting them know that we were coming there to be a part of them and talk to them and just kind of be a part of the investigation. And I may have even said, I hope we have your permission. I hope, and then we're here, we're friendly, we're not, whatever. I don't remember the exact words. Dee Dee might, but I was something to that effect. And then when I did that, I noticed it went on through, and then I told Dee Dee it just went through the, I guess that would be a dining room? I don't know. And it went into that parlor. And when I went in there with Dee Dee and I walked up there, I felt spider webs on my face. Now, that happened quite a bit, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But the spirits, I let them know right off the bat that we were there and we were going to be kind. And that's what I said. We were going to be kind and respectful. That's what I said. I remember now. And then it literally, it was an intelligent spirit. It stopped, and then it went on its way into the parlor. And that right there, and I got on to it, they said, yep, this is great. And she's just looking at me like, yeah. But, BJ, I got a question for you. Okay. If there's one thing that you took away from the first couple of 3 hours of the investigation, what would it be? What was the thing that got you thinking, hey, this is probably actually haunted?
Well, I felt like there was stuff that would, you could definitely feel movement and hear movement, definitely near the stairs.
Yeah.
And then the top rooms. That room that me and Kimberly said it for a while.
Which room?
Where, what is that room
top of the stairs.
The top of the stairs with the bed in it.
Oh,
Beds were in it.
And it had them funky stairs that went up to the bathroom.
It was above the old part, above the 1700s.
Oh, I know it's probably like a patient room for maybe the post amputees there. What I was gonna say,
I picked up a
yeah,
lot of that on,
yeah,
I picked up a lot of that on those on the recorder stuff and on the spirit box thing. I picked up a lot of different stuff that kind of made you feel like it was like a room for hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there was a lot of activity in that room.
Yeah, and
a lot of presence.
What I just
and it was the one right off the bathroom. You know what I'm talking
mm-hmm.
about? Right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And what I just realized, I didn't give a prelude to what about the house. So let me go ahead and correct that now. I was going into Rhonda and Dee Dee and the location, but the history of the house is a very interesting and beautiful history. It's steeped in the time of the Revolutionary War and the Civil War, and all the way up to the present with Rhonda and Dee Dee. But there have been three families, I believe, three particular families: the Kincannons, the Sneads, and then the Masons. And there's spirits from all of those, at least what we got, and basically what we tried to determine that the replies we were getting. We can go into that in a little bit more later, but let's just put it this way. We're pretty sure we got Josephine and Nicholas. We're pretty sure we got Mrs. Kincannon. In fact, I'm absolutely sure we got Mrs. Kincannon in that kitchen fireplace area. Our equipment went ballistic. It just went all over the place. Lights flashing and REM pod going off, and the ghost, my ghost box with the little temperature, the SB7 with the temperature sensor on it, and the EDI was going crazy, and we were getting replies based on our requests, and just a whole bunch of stuff. SLS evidence with the SLS cameras. Kimberly got a plethora of spirit box evidence. There's just so much coming for everyone. You have no idea. This place is just absolutely incredible. Incredible place. We had the honor to actually investigate this. When we did, I don't know how the activity usually runs, but we were there on obviously the right night, weren't we, guys?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we definitely were. Like, I was just sitting here just thinking about, with the kids, like when you said, like, people who came through. I'm not sure I'd like to see the evidence that we got of the kids coming through. I think with the little girl, I believe her, I think she's the one that was maybe she wasn't. Was she the one looking for her dad? Or didn't we ask the one looking for their dad? And didn't she say he was like military or something?
I believe so,
Yeah,
but
so
I've actually,
it wasn't.
I
don't
was,
think it was her then.
well, I was listening to your evidence there, or you on the video talking, and then the evidence came through, what I believe to be evidence. Keep in mind, this is all based on what we felt and what we seen and what we understand, and I always try to debunk, and I go for the most logical explanation before I gravitate toward, it being paranormal. I mean, you can walk around and call everything paranormal, but there's a certain set of variables that have to be met, and before I will consider it to be paranormal phenomena. So, what I'm looking at on this, we got audio, we got video, we got visual, we got intelligent, we even got residual. And there was so much going on that the 7 hours that we were there, or 12 hours, I'm sorry, which it was 7, wasn't it? We left at 4 in the morning, so it was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 9 hours that we were there. We had gotten so much evidence that I committed to bringing us back there next year and doing the other half of the experiments, because there was so much stuff that we got on what we were doing, we couldn't pull away from it. Example given, the REM pod, the music box, we did move it around quite a bit, and it got a lot of hits on the stairs, and also up there in that little area between the children's room and that, I guess what you wanted to call, you call it like the surgeon's room, past the red room. I'll go over the history a little bit here in a minute, because I didn't really do that properly. But we just got so much evidence, and there's so much that I need to go through. And right off the bat, I'd posted already like 2 immediate hits. The flashlight in the parlor, oh my God, that went on for like, 10 minutes, 8 minutes?
Yeah, it went on for a while, because, like, I remember things started dying down, and things got calm. And what it was when we first got there, we were all excited, and so the energy fed off of us, because every one of us was like, yes, and we were so excited to be there and do things. And so they were excited, and you could tell because as it got a little bit later, as we got into like 3 or 4 hours of it, we kind of started getting tired and needed to recuperate some.
Yeah.
And the energy felt like in the house it started like calming down, and there was quietness. And then everybody kind of dispersed and came back, and then after that, when we was sitting down, and I went into the front room and just decided just to sit there. Actually, I took a cup of tea, and I went sat in the front room with a cup of tea, and then like just sitting there, people came in and out, things happened, and then eventually what happened was like we got to the flashlight. So the activity was in that room for quite some time, but the more that we started putting our energies in that room and becoming interested, then the more the energy was able to, the entity or whatever it is, was able to feed off of our energies and our like excitement and everything. And so then the flashlight started. So I would say it was a good, probably, I don't know the evidence time frame, 10 minutes maybe of the evidence, but I'd say I sat in that room for at least 30 plus minutes. I sat in that room. So I think that room just had something kind of stirring in it for a little bit.
Yeah, BJ, your take on the parlor?
The parlor?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. We got a lot of evidence in there. I really loved when you, me, and Kimberly were sitting near the stairs using that box. I don't know what the name of the box was.
That was the back porch.
The back porch, do you remember?
That had been
Later on, we got a lot of evidence there.
Yeah, I used the. That was the box. Yeah, you're right. It was Was it the little spirit box, right? Or are you talking about the music box?
The music box. And wasn't that when we used your app on that speaker?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That you're talking about what used to be the back, with the area that was once a back porch, right below the sunroom. Yeah. The heater room is what I call it. It had a baseboard looking heater thing or whatever. I didn't think to bring out necromonic out, and I went on ahead and used my Bluetooth transmitter and hooked it up to the little amp, and went on ahead and connected my phone to that little amp and ran necrophonic. And
that was awesome.
Go ahead.
Yes. Well, that area right there where we're talking about, that door frame, that doorway, and I believe that's the same doorway that you were referring to when you first went in and saw something. That doorway right there is the only doorway, like the main doorway, that I felt spider webs more than one time, right? So, like, feeling a spider web here and there is something that's pretty common. When you feel it, like, multiple times, it does make you stop and say, okay, what, And so that one, and then knowing that that's where the route that the boy went through the doorway and that he died on that back porch, it makes a lot of sense, because those energies, you can feel that energy through that doorway. And we have to think about it, it's a doorway, right? What does the doorways hold, right? They're physical doors for us too, but, you know, it's an energy pathway that people took.
Exactly. And it did, you know, you guys were, well, here, let me do something real quick. I'm just so excited to have you guys on tonight. I'm so honored to call y'all my team members. You're also my family. BJ is my little brother, and Kim is the sister that I always missed her. I don't know how to say that one, but so I mean, when I actually watched you grew up. Your mom was one of our managers at Perkins Restaurant, and we're all Perkins old school 2608 family here. The one thing that I'm being remiss about is that I have not yet, because I'm just excited to talk to you guys, and each of these is a work in progress. I got to tell everybody about the history of the house so they know what in the hell we're talking about. So what I'm going to do now, that kind of helps, doesn't it? So if we have enough people still left listening, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give a shout out again to Rhonda Caudill and her husband. They own and run the Nickerson Snead House Museum in Glade Spring, Virginia. It's about 30 miles north of Bristol, Tennessee, Virginia. The NickersonSneadHouse.com is their website. And they're also, I got to let you know, they got plans. They're turning it into a haunted bed and breakfast. So keep that in mind. They're going to be turning this into a haunted bed and breakfast. They're trying to get some stuff worked out by September. Excuse me. Okay, got it. And this is going to be an interesting thing to come visit after they turn it into the bed and breakfast. I'm definitely up for that. Also, I'd like to note that a lot of the heavy hitters have visited. Our heavy hitters are the people that you see on Travel Channel, etc. A lot of those teams have come in there and investigated, and they didn't leave disappointed at all. Okay, I'll get it out in a minute. I should have got some water. All right. Anyway, here's the history of the Nickerson Snead House Museum. The Nickerson Snead House was built circa 1835. However, the original log portion was built in the 1700s by Francis Kincannon. During this period, it was used as a fort during the Revolutionary War and the French and Indian War, respectively. This beautiful historic home was built by Dr. Nickerson Snead and his wife Betsy Snead. It was a field hospital during the Civil War, and the cellar was used as a morgue. The Nickerson Snead House is home to several spirits, including Betsy, the woman in blue. Ah! Well, now I know who was casing me. It was Betsy. Remember I told you it was grayish blue? And it just kind of whisked by me by that giant table room into the parlor. And then something came back through, and I told Dee Dee that it felt like spider webs all over my face.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the same thing. Like, because I felt, it was kind of the same area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, back to this, the Nickerson Snead, I'll reiterate. I'll rewind back to the beginning of that paragraph. The Nickerson Snead House is home to several spirits, including Betsy, the woman in blue, a little girl, and a little boy, presumably Josephine and Douglas Mason. Now, Josephine and Douglas were not Sneads. They were Mason. That was their surname. The name of the book that you have to check out is The History of the Hauntings of the Nickerson Snead House, and it is by Rhonda L. Caudill, Ph.D. She is the curator and the owner of the property. And this is where I'm getting this information on their website. And I actually got the book on Amazon for like $11, the paperback. It's definitely worth it. Also, you can come to the Nickerson Snead House BJRutledge.com and pick a copy up here, order you a copy. It actually has a link. I'm pretty sure that you can, somewhere on the website, you can find the link to the book that I just mentioned. But the log cabin, the story of the log cabin, it's an interesting story. I believe it was 1783, if my memory serves correctly, not too long after the end of the Revolutionary War, and a little bit after the time that the county changed from the name of Fincastle County, Virginia, and became Washington County, Virginia, named in honor of the president. So Washington County is very old. It's a very old county in Virginia, named after George Washington. So this place was rocking it out before the Civil War and during the Revolutionary War. And it was Kincannon's Fort. And that's what they had named it. But yeah, you got to check that. That's just, yeah, you click on the picture of the book. Okay, I get it, man. Yeah, and it takes you to the history and hauntings of the Nickerson Snead house. On the ParaSanctum podcast, on the Facebook page, and if I can do it on the Spotify page, I'm going to put a link up to where you can get this book. And it's rated a solid 5 stars, and it's $10. So that's just a little, it's just a little snippet of the history about the house. And there's a lot more than what I just told you about this place. The Nickerson Snead family, they're buried across from the house over in the graveyard across from the house. An interesting note about the property is that a tornado came through there, and I remember this very well because I'm a truck driver, and I remember seeing the damage at exit 29 there. It was just terrible with that tornado. A freak tornado come through there, and it damaged a good portion of the corner of the house. But thankfully, Rhonda and them got together and they got it fixed. And man, I'm telling you, if you're an investigator, you have got to check this place out. It is a rock star. If you don't, you're missing out. And the Caudiels got the property in 2004, by the way. And it's an old antebellum style house. It's like 180 plus years old. It's got this wicked tree, this bean tree. And I kind of got to think it may be a portal. Because, BJ, tell us about the tree. Got to tell us about the tree, BJ. And then Kimberly follow up.
Well, I felt like when we pulled up on the property, that was like the thing that caught
I pointed out. It did.
She did.
Pulled me towards it. I was like, that's what's pulling all the energy, making everything happen in this house.
Right.
It's like right there in that
It's
tree.
the main source of energy is right there.
Yeah. So whatever happened there on that land of that tree, it opened something up there.
There.
Kimberly.
That tree's it's crazy.
Kimberly, what did you get from all that?
I mean, the exact
The tree.
same thing. Yeah, the exact same thing. Like, when I pulled up the house and the land, just the thought of the land, there was a couple of spots on that land that first got my eye. And there was another big tree that was toward the back of the house. And then there was this one over here, which is the one that's kind of on the right-hand side of the house, the big one that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another one, actually, that was kind of behind me and to my left, which I don't know. I would be curious to know where they're buried at. But those 3 points of energy are the first three places that drew my attention. And then as I became closer to that tree, I got out of the car and can get like a eye sight of it, like a full sight of it, and got closer to it.
Mm-hmm.
The more just the energies of that tree you can just feel it's an ancient time. And not only is it just ancient, it feels like feeling kind of ancient, just like open. I kind of feel like if you close your eyes and fall backwards into a pool of water, that's how it would feel to like escape into the middle of that tree, if that makes sense. And vice versa, things going both directions. So, where were they buried, if you don't mind me asking?
I believe they're all buried across the street in that old cemetery. They actually got damaged by that tornado, which was unfortunate.
Was it across the street? Do you mean like across the street?
Yeah.
There was like some industrial building and then a house and land?
Well, no, I'm thinking that it's still there. The cemetery is still there. And I'm remiss on the name of the cemetery, but I do remember reading Rhonda's book, and it had pictures of the headstones. And I believe they were pre-2011, before the tornado destroyed a lot of the old cemetery. But what's interesting is that tree didn't even get hurt. If it did, you can't really tell. I mean, maybe it did. And we just don't know because we weren't there in 2011 or whatever. But, yeah, the tree was like kind of it had a weird feeling about it. It was sort of like, when I was growing up in South Texas, we had running water going under our kitchen in a live well. And which probably explains a lot about why I went through what I went through, and I'm on this journey since '76. Kitchen was the center of activity in the bathroom in that old house I grew up in. But this, you know the whole story. You've known it all your most since you could. Yeah, I've been telling it to you for since like 1980, whatever, when you could understand words. But no, I wonder if water, if there's an underground spring or something under that property, especially in the mountains, a lot of running water. We talked about taking the dowsing rods out there, and we never did, to check to see if there was water, because dowsing rods, that's what they're really good at. They cross when you get over a water source.
Me and Kimberly looked it up on Google Maps before we went, and there is a nearby water source very near the property.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know whether it streams off into the property or not, but there's definitely water nearby.
Well, the tree... Go ahead.
There was like a filled up well on the outside of the house.
Oh, that's right. Dude, I totally forgot about that, man. There was a big old round well thing. Yeah. Shit.
Yeah, because I remember it was an aha moment, because we was outside and we all were thinking this question, like,
what is this?
Yeah. Because we all are looking for it, and then the well was over there. Because I was like, what is that cinder block piece? And y'all like, it's the well, and aha, makes
and I was thinking,
makes sense on why that house doesn't have a lot of running water, like in the bathroom.
Exactly.
And stuff, you know?
Yeah, and of course it was a well, because
that's right there. Which is crazy that
so,
they had it right off their back porch.
People's
wells aren't that close to their house.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, that was actually quite common back then, because they didn't have the Glade Spring utility district in them days. They had to go out and glade the spring. But no, really interesting about that well. I'm just glad that we didn't get a phone call saying we got 7 days or anything like that, So.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think I'm getting two movies mixed up. Is The Ring, is The Grudge? No, it's The Ring. Yeah, man. They two great movies though, The Grudge and The Ring. Which one do you like the best? I'm just bullshitting.
Oh, The Ring.
Oh yeah, definitely. You didn't like all that. Yeah, every time she did that, I'm like,
they both were good.
Oh, like Monty Python. Oh, go get a glass of water. No. Okay, well, we've covered just kind of hit and miss items. I'm gonna go for the direct hits that we got throughout the house. I'm going to see if I can remember in chronological order. I was kind of all over the house. I kind of just was walking here and walking there and checking each of y'all what y'all were doing and how y'all were doing. I was just kind of looking to see what y'all were doing and join in on the conversation, the investigation. But there was some aha, I like Kimberly. I like that Kimberly. There were some ahas that just floored me. Now, give a shout out to Ryan Poling and Mike McConnell, our other two team members that were there, and they had to leave earlier than the rest of us. But they weren't disappointed. They actually had some really excellent interactions with the SLS cameras. There's like a sitting room kind of thing, right before you get into the main part. There's like a piano, and it's like right as you come off, it used to be the porch where we had those strange answers coming through that homemade rig I made with the portal box where I had the app. And Kimberly, you were enjoying that and say, why didn't we pull this out sooner? Well, that next room with the Davenport in it and everything, and we had we had eddy meter in there, the EDI meter, and it was just pulsing. Yeah. Well, Mike and Ryan were getting some very interesting readings in that room. What we call sticks or skeletal figures, and they were kind of short. And all that evidence will be presented. I've got to go through that, and there's a lot of that too. And I'm happy that the cameras that I built, a shameful plug out to TRiTn Paranormal, because we not only investigate, we build. I build the cameras and I build portal boxes, and I'm looking at doing trigger objects such as teddy bears, etc. ad infinitum. But the SLS cameras that I put together, they did well. We didn't do enough on the portal box, but thank God that I got somebody. I can't remember. It was either me or it was BJ. I'm thinking it might have been me. Somebody was videoing me, and I was asking some questions. And I didn't really do enough with that, but that's going to be that other half of the investigation that we're going to follow up with next year. And we are definitely going back if they'll have us. I guess the video evidence, when we were in there, we were walking, and then all of a sudden, these multiple anomalies just started popping up on the camera. And we debunked one going into the oldest part of the main part of the cabin there. That one that's got they both had fireplaces, but it's the room next to the kitchen. And that was the aha. That was aha for me. That was like the big kahuna, because we had I'll just explain the devices, and I'll let you guys elaborate on what I'm talking about, so it doesn't sound like I'm telegraphing. But we had unreal activity in that room, and pretty sure that later on Kimberly we established that it was Miss Kincannon, or was it Betsy? I can't remember, but that evidence will also be presented. We had a REM pod, we had an EDI meter, which I got readings from that, and they're going to be also presented. We had the ghost box, yeah, and then that's the room where I believe you got the reply about Daddy. Was that the room that you were talking about, Kimberly? That room with when the REM pod was like a Christmas tree in there, and all the devices were going apeshit?
I think so. I'm not sure. I know we got one when it was discussed with your app, using your app, and then we got one again
when we had the laser grid out.
When we had the laser grid, yeah. I think I got it 2 or 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
The room that you had, that everything was going apeshit crazy, that was the 1700 part.
Yeah, there's 2 of them.
Part.
Yeah, there's 2 of them, I believe. I believe the room with the giant table next to, as you're going toward the parlor, is also where we were all, I guess what they call headquarters, our headquarters, where we had all the equipment set up.
Yeah.
And
and that one was cool too.
Yeah, well, what'd you see? What did you see? I want y'all to tell me what you saw was going on. I'm not going to tell them. I'm going to let you, because we got the video of it, and I can't wait to get all this out, man. It's great. Go ahead.
Well, I left the recorders. I don't know if you've went over the EVPs yet.
I hadn't
for the
had
recorders.
a chance. No, not yet.
No, not yet.
But I did
All
catch
right,
one
so
with Kim.
I left recorders running downstairs while we were upstairs recording a whole bunch of stuff. And there, at one point, I went downstairs to get more tape for the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that all the stuff downstairs was going off like crazy downstairs, like multiple times. So you should be getting a lot of that on the recorder I left running downstairs. So I'm interested to see what's on that while we're upstairs.
Kimberly, what'd you think about? What did you? Oh, was you done, BJ? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm done.
Yeah, you was done.
Well, it sounded like you were spinning down there, but you're tired. It could just be that you're tired. Okay. Anyway.
You read the cue right. You read the cue right. He was done.
Yeah. Well, hopefully I know him. I've been with him all his life. Kimberly, I just got a question for you about the room. How'd you like the way Ryan was so covert in there? We couldn't even see him. He was off in the corner, and we were like, he probably fell asleep, and it's pitch black, dark. Ryan's looking at us like, what?
I knew he was over there.
That he was hiding.
Yeah, we kind of sneaked in around the same time because things were like just happening. It seemed like we was kind of out. I was looking to try to find a light to turn off the light in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out, and then I was like, something I heard everybody kind of the sounds going berserko, and I was like, I'm missing the action. It's got to be over here.
Yeah.
Sure enough, I came in that room from the kitchen, which is the old area, and everybody was kind of like sitting around the table and stuff, and things were just going wild. So I just took a seat also and hung out, and I believe it was the older lady, not Miss Kincaid, is that her name?
Yeah, Kincannon. It's Kincannon.
Kincannon,
Yeah.
yes. Miss Kincannon, yes. Kincannon, I believe, is the person who came through in that room. And I believe it was pretty cool. I would like to also see what Mike got on the other camera.
Yeah, there was we debunked an anomaly in that same room that we're talking about, the one adjacent to the kitchen. There was like a bird cage thing or something. It's like a 1700s bird cage, what kids would have made out of the woods to keep a pet bird or whatever. And man, I'm telling you, and I didn't know that was in there, and Mike was walking around the corner, and I'm like, oh dude, there's like this girl standing on top of the counter or something. That we got in there, and it was a damn bird cage.
Don't worry about it.
But that room
how many times that damn
made up for it.
Yeah, I got that room was total greatness.
That was
I can't wait.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, I can't either.
Oh, yeah, you're.
That was the crux.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
To me, that was the crux of the house. And when you look at it being the original log cabin from 1700s, and it makes sense. It really does. It like when you went under, we didn't get to do a lot in the morgue. That next year we're going to hit the hell out of that morgue. And I'm going to use my portal boxes and the wooden beams under that. And that, to those that haven't been there yet, there's actual wooden floor beams of the cabin from the 1700s in that underneath it. And when you go down these really wicked, like freaky ass stairs to get down there, and then when you get down there, you're in like this, like a cavernous area, not really big, but it's like wide and spacey basement. But that's where they kept the bodies of the dead, and they were laid down there during the Civil War. So there's a lot of interesting little caveats to this location. And when I do the interview with Rhonda, she's just gonna like totally. I know she's like an encyclopedia of knowledge and a very awesome person, super professional, really sweet. Really, her sister and her, really professional. They really care about what they're doing, and I'm gonna tell you something. My general consensus about the house is absolutely that the spirits want to be there, and that they were content being there, and they were holding our hands. I know Kimberly had said the same. I had one holding my hand as I was leaving, like it didn't want me to leave at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I actually felt really bad because we were really tired. We got done. We got enough. I got enough to know we're coming back. No reason to beat, pardon the pun, a dead horse. But I just knew implicitly that we had gotten enough to process. And I know everybody's like, well, when are you going to do it? Well, I work 6 days a week, and I get about a day off. And this is what I'm doing right now on my day off. Everybody else, Sunday, Sunday. And that's why I can't get my word out to a lot of people, because I'm driving that 18-wheeler all the time. But I'm definitely going to stay on this. We're going back, and we're going to have a blast. And I can't wait to talk with Rhonda. She already told me she was interested in doing the podcast with me. I'm honored by that. And Rhonda, if you're listening, the location did not disappoint. And like I told you in my message to you, I'm going to let, and BJ and Kimberly, you let people know about it too. That if they're wanting to investigate a place, they need to go check that place out. I'm sure I speak for both of you when I say that.
Yeah, absolutely. That place is amazing.
Yeah, it has a story. And that's the thing about spirits I've learned, is that a lot of them just want their story to be told. And they want it told right. And sometimes the negative interactions you get, and when you're not telling the story right, or you're not, I'm sure that being rude, even though they're dead, they're people too, I guess, So you throw out negative, you get back negative. You know what I'm saying? We went in there kind, polite, thank you, please. And I am just impressed by the amount that we got back that was so positive. What do you think, Kim?
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. I think intentions are always something that you need to be completely aware of. And I think we had good intentions, and so therefore we have great results.
There was something that you said. I want to ask you about it, Kimberly. And I just want to get your impression of it. When we were in there, I had said something to the effect that I feel like that they're happy. The spirits are happy. And you disagreed with me when maybe didn't disagree, but you kind of reworded it, and I didn't let you finish, and I'm sorry about that. When I was listening to you and I talking, I didn't let you finish. So let me ask you again, and I'll phrase the question this way so that you can elaborate on what I ask you. Did you feel like the spirits were happy there? And if not, why? If so, why?
I think the best way to say it, I'm not sure. No, I don't feel like spirits are happy. But then again,
in that property?
Definition of happy. Yeah, but then again, that probably lies deeper. Like, what emotions do spirits have? If
this is
any
true.
Emotions at all?
Oh, very good point. But like I told you, and you actually kind of agreed with me in the end of our discussion, or our little talk about it or whatever, in that content might have been a better word. That they are, like you said, they're dead, but I feel spirits. I feel emotion from spirits, especially when I've come across suicide victims in places, in private investigations, and to further examine that, there's different opinions, and there's different descriptions of the different theories and ideas about what spirits are, what they do, how they interact. To me, when there's something negative, to me it's an emotion, and I feel it. It exemplifies itself in me in a negative way, and hence I don't want to be near it. And then I find out later on, it's someone shot and killed themselves. But my cousin Lisa, shout out to Lisa Terrio, up in Pennsylvania. We did a live interview back a year ago, actually, from the time of this podcast. It's been approximately a year. I'm not going to do these once a year. I want to start doing these a lot more than once a year. But back in April of 21, me and cousin Lisa talked about Fort Mifflin, and we just kind of started talking about different types of spirits. And she said something really, really smart, just kind of off on the side, that spirits everybody assumes they're right in front of you on the ground. They're kind of in the air. They're kind of all around you. They're not in one particular place. They're kind of elevated. They're not, they're floating or whatever, for lack of better words. They're levitated above the ground doing their thing or whatever. And that can include residuals as well. But there's just something, okay, also that, and I'll say this first. Something about suicide victims, it's like they're planted right where they died. It's the feeling I've always got. And it's a really negative emotional feeling from it. And I don't know if that is an emotion, Kimberly, but I'm going to tell you something. It's one that it is to me, the way it feels. But, everybody's got their own idea. Draw your own conclusions. But emotions and spiritual energies, they just kind of intertwine with me. They just always have. Maybe it's all about the person. What do you think, Kimberly?
Well, a couple of different things. Suicides, you are correct in the sense of saying that they are energy, and that you feel that emotion and that energy, and that is correct because energy is a memory, and it is here on Earth. So even when we die, our spirit, our soul leaves here on Earth, but the energy that all obtained is still here.
An imprint, yeah.
And that residual energy is what we pick up on, and that's why we feel that emotion. So the people who lived in that house were happy and content children and a doctor, and we feel those residual energies.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
We're feeling their energy. Now, does that mean they're happy being dead or stuck, or are we feeling them, or they're actually them, or are we feeling those energies of them, of the home? And are we bringing those energies to life? And are we actually communicating with the deceased people, or are we pulling these energies from different parts of information, from different energies that are residual? But
and this,
suicide,
yes,
I don't know. That's the thing. Who really knows what happens when we die, right? Nobody actually has that answer.
Exactly.
I mean, people speculate all the things, but everybody's perspective is different. So, to me personally, the suicide question is to be determined. What happens when somebody who takes their own life. Like I said, that one can go a lot of different ways. But
yeah.
As far as the energy that is there, the spirit is not, but the energy is.
Okay.
So that's why you can feel everything.
Okay. Well, that's a good way to put it. But I knew that you would be like an old pair of blue jeans with this. You've always had that energy about you, for lack of better words. So you pick up on a lot of this very well. And hey, that's what the great thing about the paranormal is that none of us are experts in it, and none of us should ever say that we are. because the paranormal, there's a reason why it's a mystery. You know, that we can touch base with some of it, but we can't ever claim to know definitively what the actual answers are. So the great thing about discussing the paranormal is that the paranormal is this great mystery that we have to quantify on our little tiny brain level, if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely. That's what I was going to say. Like, I by no means think I am saying, you know, if my word is like the final say, or,
No.
or I know what I'm
Me
talking
neither.
about
That's
or anything.
yeah.
I believe that everybody has their own interpretation of life after death, of spirits, of energy, of how things are. I believe everybody has the same abilities to see and feel and think and hear and touch these energies, whether they are alive and coherent and can communicate, or whether it's just a piece of energy that's stuck that we can tap into and see, like a video or whatever it may be. I believe that we all have the abilities to do that. And when you're put in a place like the Snead house, the Nickerson Snead house, it does have all of those things going on within it that heightens those senses and those abilities of people, right? Because it's all around. And for some reason, it's there on that area. And hence, I think that has something to do with the tree. And I think that's why we were so entwined with that tree. But those energies are there. So when you're there, like everybody, it doesn't matter. Like even like Ryan with him and the dowsing rod, when you're there, those energies are there. So it picks up, right? And you become more heightened and you become more aware of all of the stuff that's going on around you, or that has went on around you throughout history.
Exactly.
So it's a wonderful experience. Whether you're psychic or whether you believe in ghosts or whether you don't, it's still just a wonderful experience to go and have.
Well, what really fascinated me about the entire experience was that, for me personally, when I got there and I walked in, and the very first time I walked into the house with Dee Dee, excuse me, this bluish gray thing just floats by, and I'd missed the part in the book about it being a blue, the spirit being blue, the lady in blue. I'm trying to remember which spirit that was. You'd think I would know. I believe it was. I'm thinking that would be Betsy Snead. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, I'm guessing. But to know is better. I'm going to say Betsy Snead. If I'm wrong, then whatever. But they were so, I mean, honestly, however you want to look at it, whether it's an energy imprint or whatever, we must have got there at the right time, on the right night. I hope we're just as productive the next time. I don't see why we won't be. I'm not going to repeat the other experiments. I'm going to go on to the other half of the equipment, and we're going to do other things. BJ, is BJ still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, BJ, the one thing I wanted to tell you is that I had the IR for that camera. The one that you...
Did you?
Yeah, I did, and we got to just walking around, and I actually also have 2 other night vision cameras as well, and they're brand new.
Well, sorry.
That's why
Sorry. Next time.
I know. I'm going to get it. Here it comes. Some team leader, huh?
Well, next time, I would like to post one of the cameras upstairs and just leave it running.
That's what we're
in
going
like
to
a
do.
corner somewhere.
Oh, I got good news for you. Remember I said I had static night vision cameras, the Bluetooth kind? I couldn't figure them out there at the location because I was going to set them up. I got 4 of them in there. At the house, I figured out how to set them up on my hotspot. So whether there's a Wi-Fi there or not, next time we'll be able to run those cameras off my 25 gigabyte hotspot from Verizon. So, but the cameras I noticed, and I'm so sorry about that. The non-IR part, because I didn't get back with you. I actually showed it to you. It's a little box that had different filters on it, and we never hooked it up to the camera. But yeah, remember that square thing with all the lights on it? That you would have gotten to do. You would have got to done full spectrum. You would have got to do green, blue, IR, all of it. And I paid $200 for that. But guess what? I've written down everything that we had not done. That's what we're going to do, and it's going to be one giant complete investigation. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Another thing I'd like to do on it next time is I would like to take multiple shots of all the room in your Polaroid.
Yeah.
All the different rooms, just take multiple shots of Polaroid. I bet we would catch something.
I'm pretty sure you caught an anomaly on one of those. I haven't gotten to them yet, but I'm pretty sure.
I figured I would.
You caught something.
I felt like it was one of the outside ones, too.
I'm not sure, but you caught something, and I like I said, a 5-gallon bucket does not even equate to what we've got. And dudes and dudettes, this is the shit, man. We're fixing to really try to answer some questions about what's going on. I would love to go back, but next year we'll have Courtney and Humberto hopefully with us. They're TRiTn Paranormal, and it's my daughter Courtney and her husband Humberto. And they live out in Tucson, and they're coming out next year, and they've already built them one of my cameras. So they're going to be investigating with us as well. And I hope I can get everybody back to the location when we do go. I didn't get to say much about upstairs, but I will go ahead and say a few things about the upstairs. At the top of the stairs, Kimberly had mentioned that Kimberly, can you tell me what you meant by the entities at the top of the stairs? Because I didn't follow up with you on that, but you had texted on Facebook about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I feel like I was kind of late to the ballgame because you guys, Brian and you and I think Mike had took off in one direction. I think BJ was up there in that same kind of direction.
Uh-huh.
And I was kind of lagging behind. Not on purpose. I think me and Danielle were doing something. And anyways, I came up to the top of the stairs, and as I went through, like, I call it the soldier's room, because that's just the feeling that I got. And then that creepy room where the Halloween decoration was stored, and came up behind you all. And you all were facing the stairway as if you could see the stairs going from down below going up. And you could see through the rail on your Scorpion, I believe is.
Yeah, the Scorpion. Yeah, Scorpion. That's one of my designs that I sell, and that particular model was the Scorpion. Yes. SLS camera.
That was so awesome.
SLS camera.
Yeah. Yes, that one. And you could see Ryan had it, and you could see, and then you had on your phone the different temperatures as well.
I had
so
the flare.
And he was catching the temperatures, and he was actually catching the figure, and the figure, like, it literally looked like it was coming up the stairs, like, hey, where'd y'all go kind of deal.
Okay, yeah, BJ, I actually saw that on, BJ got, I'm sorry, go ahead, BJ.
I got shots at Fabian.
Yeah,
with that going on.
Yeah, you do.
Nice.
I saw, that's what I was going to say, but I didn't know you were going to talk, but yeah, I've got that. I saw it. And we've got two figures. And we got the figures on the SLS, and they're correlating with the FLIR, which is, I'm going to tell you, from what I've seen, and what I've seen on television, and what I've seen other people do, that's not too easy to get both of them at the same time. So it's sort of like a corroboration of each other, correlation of energy, or whatever the hell it was.
So the stuff that I sent you, the very first 1, 2, and 3 recordings is as you all were getting all that activity right there. I went behind everybody and went into that room at the top of the stairs right there at that door.
Mm-hmm.
And me and BJ went in that room, and that's all of the voice box and everything else while you guys were recording that area.
Wow.
So when you get to that stuff, you have all that too.
It's also got on recording.
It's on VJ's recording. VJ recorded it too,
yeah.
right?
Here's the great thing, everyone, about this investigation.
His recorder.
We had cell phones, videoing. We had SLS videoing. I actually included microphones. I'm going to start selling microphones with the rigs, by the way, because the microphones did well from what I was able to hear. It's actually done well so far. That doesn't mean I haven't heard. I barely touched. Just kind of looked at one and the battery went dead because it just run the batteries down so much. But this was heavy video and heavy visual evidence, especially down there in that main part of the cabin next to the kitchen where the REM pod was just going apeshit nuts, and the radio, my little SB7 was going nuts, and I mean, all them devices at the same time, and they're not even next to each other, and there's just like this, like a vortex of energy. BJ, tell everyone about what you saw on the ceiling versus the frequency of the S-Box radio in that room.
Which one?
You remember on the ceiling, the light pulsation and stuff?
Oh, yeah. That was the one where me, you, and Kimberly were sitting downstairs, right? With the laser grid on the wall?
No, the one I'm talking about is Miss Kincannon's kitchen or whatever. Like the one that had and on the ceiling, it was like Christmas tree lights flashing from the REM pod and the frequency of my SB7 box. And it was like they were like synchronized. Go ahead and tell everyone.
Oh, man, that stuff was going crazy. There was, I think we had 4 different things in the kitchen.
That's right.
All spread out.
Yep.
And they were just like Fabian said, Christmas lights. That's the best way to explain it. So it's like, or cop lights, however you want to say it, because there's a bunch. And they were freaking out, man. But yeah, you could just feel the energy in the room would make your hairs stand up on your arms.
It did mine. Yeah, I showed you my arm.
The chills, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, you could just... I remember at one point we were in the... was it that dining room with the case in it?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, that's the one. Same room.
Yeah, like it was colder than all the other rooms at one point. And I was like, that is just so crazy. Like, you just, feel it there. It's very awesome.
One thing that I did notice, and I'm sure we got it on the EDI meter graphs, because I actually have the program, and I got a 64 gigabyte, the Mega SD card, so the big ones that go on the top of them. So we have the graphing evidence and the temperature evidence of each room that we were in. It'll be based on what time, and since we videoed 90% of it, all we got to do is match the timestamp on that video to that graph, that EDI meter.
Right.
Once I process that CSV file.
That's very awesome.
So we have not only the evidence, and by the way, the EDI meter or eddy meter or whatever you want to call it, it did not disappoint. In fact, when we were in that room, and that's the same room, by the way, BJ, the one with the case, that's where we were getting Christmas fairy cop lights or whatever. And that cold spot and all that, that little SB7 has like a little blue light and a red light. Well, the red light comes on when it's hot, and the cold light comes on when it's cold. When there's a temperature change, that'll beep past. That little blue light kept going beep, beep. But the EDI meter, remember we were asking questions, and I've got video of that. And the cell phone video was better than the video shot from the digital video camera. We actually got it, I guess, once for yes, 2 for no. It was replying. So it was some great stuff, man. And upstairs, back to upstairs real quick. The upstairs area, I don't feel like we've done enough up there. Because, like you said, BJ, tell them what was happening. As soon as we went upstairs, it's like they were trying to lead us back downstairs. Tell everyone why I said that. What was going on downstairs?
Oh, absolutely. At one point, I had to change my tape in the video camera, so I went downstairs to get more tape.
Uh-huh.
And everything was freaking out downstairs. Like, all the meters were going off. You could just feel it. Like, they were all downstairs. Everybody was upstairs, and they were like, nope, we're down here chilling, because everything was going off. And I went back upstairs. I was like, yo, y'all got to come down here and hear this. It's like Christmas time down there.
I heard you, but we all had our own. I mean, it's like each and every one of us, because of everything going on around us, we were compelled to go and we actually weren't all bunched in together. For a good example is Kim and Danielle, and you would go off walking on your own, and you were like just trying to. I know what you were doing. You were doing like solo, just try to get something, a nice little piece of evidence, and that was great. I love the fact that you went walkabout, so to speak, like my family in Australia would say. But you just kind of went on your own, and you were trying to pull. You were trying to pull them. You were thinking, well, if everybody's in one room, they're probably around here floating around. I'm guessing. Was that your supposition and why you were going to walkabout?
Absolutely.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, because
yeah, I know.
It's like, oh, there's too much energy in this room. I'm going to step out.
Well, I like to equate it to what a great man once said. And I'll tell you his name after I say the quote, and I'll probably screw the quote up, but you'll get the gist of it. If everyone in the room is thinking the same thing, then somebody's not thinking. That was George S. Patton. So if you're in one room. Go ahead, Kim. I'm sorry.
No, I was just agreeing with it. That makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if that's the thing. Now, Kim, I'm not debating you, because there is no debate here. And people that debate each other in the paranormal, let's say, oh, this ain't that. What happened to open-mindedness? That's the whole idea of the paranormal and researching it. You got to be open-minded. So, let's say, for instance, Kim, that my supposition about emotional or whatever, that the spirits themselves are emotional. And perhaps there's two reasons why, if we want to look at this through the lens of humanity, that the spirits did what they did when we went upstairs, like BJ had said they did. Perhaps it's the reason I did. Something was tugging at my hand. And I literally said to it, I'm so sorry that we got to go. I literally told something that wasn't there because I could feel it. It was holding, a little edge of it was holding that side of my hand, my right hand, as I was walking out the door. I had a suitcase in my left hand, carrying it out to the car, and this little cold hand didn't grab me. It just kind of was holding my hand. It was wicked cool. Maybe when we were upstairs, and this is just saying if the whole spirits, have an emotion, what if they were just lonely? They wanted us back down there. Who knows, right? What do you think?
Right? Who knows? I mean, anything is possible, right? That's the wonderful world of this paranormal and investigating and stuff. Because really, if you think about it, anything in the world is possible. Like, not even in the world, anything is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Just your beliefs, my beliefs, our beliefs together. I mean, it could be anything at all. And it's the experiences that we have and the learning that we get from those experiences. It's our perspectives and what we gain from it, the knowledge. However it is that we take that knowledge in.
I like that perspective.
Is what it is.
Yeah,
it's great. And I think it's amazing that you have that kind of connection. And I think it's a wonderful thing that's beautiful. And it's a beautiful ending to a great day, I feel like, that you had. I think that we all had. And we're all grateful for that experience altogether.
Well, the one thing that we can all agree on, and I'm sure I speak for Ryan, Marcus, and Mike, Danielle, and even Lisa, and Courtney and Humberto, is that just going and doing it is always better than just talking about it. And that we became a part of it, and that we were impressed by it in such a way that there's a lot of people out there that, hey, look, I've always told people this, and BJ is my witness. I'm not trying to get you to believe in it, but don't tell me that it's not true. Because I don't have to be convinced that you're right. And you don't have to be convinced that I'm right. Most of the time, it's when it happens to you, when you least expect it, that's what makes you a believer. Not somebody showing you all these videos and, because that person's the one that's going to say fake, 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 bullshit, not real. But then one night they're sitting somewhere and they realize that they're wrong. And that doesn't mean that happens to everybody. It shouldn't. I do believe we're all untrained psychics. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
well,
so
I've got a perfect example of what you just said about the skeptics.
Okay.
Like, you remember Jason for Perkins?
Yeah. I remember
He's a
Jason.
total
He's
skeptic.
Awesome. Yeah, I know he doesn't.
Skeptic when I met him.
Yeah, I remember Jason. Oh, wait, you're talking about Jason Nelson or Jason Gonzalez? Which Jason?
Nelson.
Oh, Nelson. Oh, yeah, I remember Jason. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's a total skeptic when
Okay.
I met him.
All right, gotcha.
Well, the longer we worked in Perkins, the more he started seeing stuff move around that he could explain. Now he kind of believes in it. He's seen enough stuff. Like, we watched a shelf. We didn't watch it. We heard it. A big shelf move off the wall at Perkins, like 4 foot off the wall, that had all our metal pots and pans and back of the house stuff on it.
Yeah.
And it crashed into the wall and spilled everything off of it. No one was back there.
Yep.
Wow.
That was crazy.
That fucking place was crazy altogether. The thing that used to stand at the dish room, walking around, I'll count that damn person. I've seen him 1,000 times. I can still see what he looks like to this day. I saw that dude standing there so often.
Oh, yeah.
And there was one in the back, always in the back.
Well, you know how you said how, that thing, it's awesome that I'm able to feel that emotional part of spiritual energy or whatever. I had one small encounter, and that was it. But everyone for years, including Julio, shout out to Dennis James, who's on my friends list, have said that something was in there. Even Fish, even Andy. And by the way, I got a great idea, y'all. We're going to do the Haunted Perkins podcast in the future. And I'm going to try to, and Andy is like,
Perkins is a lockdown.
Andy is very good at this, what we're doing right now. He is a professional. Andy Sturgeon is one of the best radio personalities. And Mark Salter, of course. Now, Mark Salter, shout out to Mark Salter. He finally fired up Salty Talk the other day again for a short stint. I hope he's back. But Mark Salter has been he's just been an amazing help to me on this radio journey and getting my story out there in the years past. So shout out to Mark and Claudia Salter in Arcadia, Florida, and our very own Fish, Andy Sturgeon, and his beautiful wife from Ukraine, Svetlana, and their son. Maybe we can get Andy on there, because Andy said he has a story too, and that really impressed me. So, because they were interviewing me on Salty Talk. Of course, Andy and Mark and Claudia and them were all hosts. So, there's actually audio of me and Andy talking on Salty Talk Radio about Perkins. I don't know what it was. I just never really, maybe once, maybe something, and that, but you guys claim up and down that it's thick with all kinds of stuff. I don't know. Apparently a man died there. Leonard said before it was Perkins that there was a shop where the crow's nest is. and that a car fell and
Yeah.
killed a man in what was later on became the Crow's Nest.
So that's what Leonard told you, right?
That is what Leonard told me, yes.
Okay, so that is also exactly what Rusty told me, who is
Yeah, I know Rusty.
the constable who lives in the trailer park
Yep.
here.
He's still there, huh?
His dad blocked that place back in the 30s.
Yeah.
And he told me the same thing.
Wow, Rusty's still around, huh? Tell him Fabian
Yep.
said hi, man. Next time you see him. That's cool. Yeah, he was a regular there, too.
All right.
Yeah.
I believe that.
But, huh?
I said, I believe that.
Yeah, earlier on, he kind of came in and out there quite a bit. No, but back to the Nickerson Snead house. So I'm going to finish up the discussion. This ain't no damn interview. This is just us family talking about what we went and did. Okay, yeah, you got the job, guys. Kind of thing. No, y'all had the job the moment I said I'm doing something. Y'all are coming. Because I know BJ and I, we have a history of paranormal shit going all the way back to the 80s. So, yeah. And Kim, you've always had this awesome vibe about you. And when I found out that you dabbled in psychic stuff and all them stones you got, and that pendulum, thank you so much again. We're going to use that. Again, I've got video of you asking the questions. A very good video of you getting replies. Like I said, everyone out there, I know you're getting tired of it. Waiting and waiting. But this isn't a TV show. This is getting documented and trying to make sure that it is real. And that it's not just something that we think it is. If you know the difference and you've watched enough TV shows to know this is not right, this like whatever. If it's something that's just so blatant, like in the historic Scott County Jail investigation that me, Ryan, and Marcus done last October, shout out to Miranda Young and Chris Sumner of the historic Scott County Jail, which is also haunted in Huntsville, Tennessee. If it's something that's just so blatant, it's like that. So when you get all these things together and you present this evidence, or what you call evidence, when you get a place like Nickerson Snead and everything's evidence, I mean, that's like the golden nugget kind of thing. That's like the holy grail of it, And
Yeah.
I do think it's important to. I probably will now that I brought it up. I think it may be important to show. Actually, there is a debunking there. I forgot the one about the bird cage. I'm going to show that because it would make you think that is a full-bodied apparition on top of a case. But it was not. It was a bird cage. So yeah, there are some things that I want to kind of, I guess, what you can separate and show this is that and that is this. But it's whenever the aha moments just keep falling over each other. The best way I can describe the Nickerson Snead house in Glade Spring, Virginia, the Kincannons, the Masons, the Sneads, they're all there. And whatever words you want to use, they're content. They will interact with you, I guess, if everything's right. My suggestion is you be polite to them and show them respect and kindness. And I believe in my heart of hearts that that's going to come back to you. I just didn't realize how much it was going to come back. Is there anything else y'all want to add before we go? Is there something you'd like to say?
I think it just about sums it up. It's been a pleasure to be able to discuss and talk and enjoyed our time together then and now. Every time we get a chance to get together and talk about our experiences, I absolutely love it, and I take so much from it. And I'm more than glad and thankful and grateful to be part of this team, and I can't wait for us to get on to something else.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, BJ.
Awesome investigation. It was a very awesome investigation.
No. Go ahead,
I really
finish.
Can't wait to do another one.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
I tell you what. How would y'all like to check out that old Greene County jail in July? That's when I go on vacation.
Ooh, what time? What part?
Well, no, I will try to make it at a good time. It'll be, closer to the weekend. But Danielle, I got to pick her up from the airport from Arizona on the end of that week. But I'm sorry, go ahead. It's just a walk around. We're not staying there overnight. It's like a 2-hour walk around.
That's not what I mean.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
We're going to the beach in July.
Oh, what time?
Like
What part of
July? The 2nd through the 9th.
Oh, no. This is on after that.
In Myrtle.
Nope. This is like, you'll be fresh from exploring to explore again. It'll actually be the 18th through the 22nd.
Okay. That'll probably do fine.
I want to say...
That won't be any problem.
Yeah, go ahead. Good.
Yeah, no, you're good. That won't be any problem with my schedule either.
It's good.
I'll get in the way.
It's good.
Drop them off.
Good, yeah.
It's good. I'm going to shout out.
It can be figured out.
I'm shouting out to Katie Bug and Lucas and is Ryan. Ryan, is that right? Ryan?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Because I know so many Ryans and I know so many this and that. And by the way, I want you to hear this, BJ. Do you know what that is?
Do it again?
Okay.
Are you taking some peanuts in a bag?
No. These are catfish hooks.
Oh.
And Ryan, shout out to Ron Poling, my son-in-law, my beautiful daughter Chelsea. Also shout out to my daughter Jessica. And Courtney, of course, again. Ryan found a spot. And I've got these circle hooks, and they just can't wait to land a catfish. And these type of hooks here is what we used in Louisiana when I was real little. And they've made they're coming back. And they're actually the best hook to use when you cut a bluegill's head off and just throw it out there with a 2 or 3 ounce leader. Now we're going to a fishing show. But
I'm cool with that. I still got poles.
Right.
I have to renew my fishing license.
Yeah.
I'll definitely bring the kids.
All right, well, I was just thinking, and Kimberly, do you like to fish?
Not really.
No, I don't like fishing.
I like to watch people fish.
You take it off the hook.
I like to watch people fish.
Danielle's not too hot on it either. Anyway, again, I want to give a special thanks to Billy Joe Rutledge, my little brother, Kimberly Marshall, my sister from another mother. My BJ he's our video tech, etc. He's our videographer, and Kimberly is our psychic, and they're both a lot of things to me. Most importantly, some of the best friends and people I've ever had in my life. I love you guys. I want to give a shout out to Rhonda Caudill and her husband. Also, I want to give a shout out to SRS Paranormal out of Kingsport. They're the ones that gave me the idea. Oh yeah, I've got to look at the evidence in the red room, which is where the doctor performed the amputations. We had Ryan in there on the bed, and he's actually an Army veteran from Iraq. My son-in-law is. So we did the whole question and answer. To try to get Dr. Snead to come through. I believe we may have caught Dr. Snead already downstairs. There was just something about downstairs there. I don't know what it was, but it just had like a blanket of like this energy down there. And that's where I kept feeling the majority of the cobwebs when I'd walk through a doorway. Also, I felt one coming down that one stairwell where you're, by the red room, and you come out of that bathroom area between that is over in the corner from where y'all were in the kids' room, Kimberly. That one area, that little hallway that goes right by the red room.
Yeah.
I walked in, and that's where
Yeah.
I lost. I kind of fell. I didn't fall, but my feet tripped because I had just big old boots on. And I said, I'm okay. But right before that, I went through cobwebs, or whatever the hell they were.
Oh, yeah.
But, that. I just wanted to.
Yeah, that area right there was weird.
That was very interesting stuff there. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. Go and see for yourself. Go see the Nickerson Snead House Museum. And believe me, it is an amazing experience. The history of the house, the antebellumness of the house, the fort, like we're talking Revolutionary War. The cellar. I can't wait to go back, guys. I just can't. I'm like a kid in the candy store.
I love it.
We're going to have to set up more cameras next time, I believe.
I know, BJ.
I feel like we should just put them everywhere.
Well, and that's why you're the video man. And I'll tell you what, when we get there next year, it's your baby, and I'm going to show you how to do those.
I'm coming early.
Yeah.
I'm coming early.
All right. Well, I love you guys. It's been a fantastic discussion. This is the ParaSanctum podcast. This is directly affiliated with the ParaSanctum podcast because this is TRiTn Paranormal, our paranormal research group out of Greenville, Tennessee / the Tri-Cities. Thank you to everyone who took time to listen. All of y'all be safe out there and take care with whatever it is that you're doing. We'll talk to you next time. And BJ and Kimberly, I hope we do this again, even if it's just about Perkins. We need to shoot the shit on this podcast more often.
Oh, hell yeah. We're shooting the shit any day.
That's
buddy.
right.
Do it.
Yeah.
All right. Love you guys. And I will get with everyone as soon as I can. I may be reaching out to you, BJ and Kimberly, like I said earlier. Maybe we can get some of that evidence. Maybe y'all can help me go through some of it. Maybe we just... y'all can come over here, or I can come over there, and we can just sit down and go through it. Tell the kids, hey. And anyway, I'll talk to y'all next time. Talk to everyone next time. Thanks to all of y'all for your support of the ParaSanctum podcast on Spotify. You take care now. Bye-bye.
Bye.